What you're about to hear might be the beginning of the end. In 2025, India and Pakistan are once again standing on the edge of war, and this time, the world is closer than ever to a real nuclear showdown. Over the past few weeks, airstrikes near the border, fiery speeches and massive military moves have the whole planet holding its breath. One wrong move, one explosion, and millions could be gone. You're about to hear what the mainstream media won't dare to show you, and how close we really are to a silent apocalypse. For decades, India and Pakistan lived in a fragile balance between peace and all-out war. But in 2025, that invisible line has snapped. At the end of April, Pakistani troops crossed the line of control in Kashmir, storming key villages in the Poonch region, a move New Delhi straight up called an act of war. The invasion left dozens dead and wounded, lighting up red flags across India and the entire globe. India hit back fast and hard. Air raids on military camps across the border, followed by bold statements from the Indian Prime Minister demanding a full withdrawal or irreversible consequences. The world watched, dead silent, as two nuclear-armed nations sped into a dangerous, never-before-seen escalation. But here's what's even more chilling. Insider sources confirmed that India has placed parts of its nuclear arsenal on high alert, while Pakistan has rolled short-range missiles right up to the border. We're talking minutes to decide. A false radar alert, a misread signal, a drone getting shot down. Any spark could trigger a war no one can stop. And the scariest part? Almost no one's talking about it. With the global spotlight glued to Ukraine, Taiwan, and Gaza, this might be the fuse to the first nuclear conflict of the 21st century, and barely anyone's watching. The tension isn't just military. It's psychological, political, and deeply historical. What most people don't realize is this isn't just about land. It's about national pride, religion, survival, and regional dominance. When all those things mix, it's a ticking bomb. The war has already begun, and we just haven't heard the first warhead drop. What makes the India-Pakistan standoff totally different from any other military crisis is one word: nuclear. Both countries are part of that elite and dangerous as club with nukes ready to fire. In 2025, both New Delhi and Islamabad hold over 160 operational nuclear warheads, with launch systems that can hit targets in under 10 minutes. This isn't some far-fetched theory. It's real. It's live. The scariest part? Pakistan follows. A first-use nuclear policy, meaning it could launch nukes even without being nuked first. India officially follows a no-first-use stance, but after the recent invasion, that's being seriously questioned. So both sides are basically on edge and calling it defense. It's a nerve-wracking standoff where every second counts, and one screw-up could be fatal. If nukes fly, the first to be hit would be major cities: Lahore, New Delhi, Mumbai, Karachi. Estimates say over 20 million people could die in the first 24 hours alone, with tens of millions more suffering. Radiation illnesses. But it wouldn't just be South Asia. Even a small nuclear war would hit the whole planet hard. Studies from Princeton and the International Institute for Strategic Studies show that a limited nuclear exchange between India and Pakistan could drop global temperatures by up to 2 degrees C, wrecking crops, triggering famines, and crushing food supplies worldwide. That's not sci-fi. That's a real-deal nuclear winter. This kind of war leaves no survivors, not even the so-called winners. And while politicians play their deadly chess match, the rest of the world watches in silence as civilization edges toward collapse. The red button is already on the table, and the fingers closer than ever. If the India-Pakistan conflict goes nuclear, it won't stay a regional thing for long. We're talking about two of the biggest populations on Earth in one of the most strategic parts of Asia, with global powers watching every step. China is a long-time ally of Pakistan. The US has deep military and trade ties with India. One full-blown war between them, and the superpowers might be dragged into a worldwide nightmare. The whole region is a global supply chain hub. Factories, shipping routes, and ports across South Asia could grind to a halt. The China-Pakistan Economic Corridor, a key piece of the Belt and Road Initiative, could be obliterated. We'd see stock markets crash, massive bankruptcies, and major shortages of essential goods, all within days. Oil, That's another ticking bomb. Any chaos near the Persian Gulf sends oil prices through the roof. A war in South Asia could spike global energy prices like crazy, triggering runaway inflation in fragile economies and deep recessions across the board. One war between two countries could crash the whole global economy harder than 2008. And politically, it'd be a disaster. The UN would likely be paralyzed by vetoes from nuclear powers. Alliances like ASEAN, the SCO, and even the Commonwealth would be tested like never before. Global trust in international institutions would crumble, sparking nationalism, dictatorships, and new conflicts around the world. We'd go from a multipolar world to total chaos, and in the middle of it all, billions of people far from India or Pakistan would pay the price, without ever having a say in what triggered the madness. Because in a nuclear war, there are no spectators, only victims. We're closer to nuclear war than most people can even imagine. And worse, we're ignoring it. If this video opened your eyes, don't stay quiet. Hit that like button. Drop a comment on what you think will happen and subscribe right now, because here we show you what the news hides, what could change the world in the blink of an eye.